Welcome to the Thunderdome, baby. Oh my lord, was today fun. Money flying everywhere, flushes happening, bounces everywhere. Be Big currently just ripping in after hours, 6 days till dividend. Tons of new fresh ideas, tons of bottom stocks. Let's jump right in and have some fun. So I haven't had that much fun in a long time. I mean, just dip buys after dip buys, and just, you could see the flushes were coming. We talked about this on yesterday's video. If a stock has an upcoming catalyst and there's a flush, we buy the flush. I mean, that's what you do. You're a trader. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But the first one I want to talk about today was DMAN. And unfortunately, I did not get into this stock, but I have to commend it. But I think, there's more to it. So, it got a $390 million valuation and so forth. But, the thing that I always like it when companies will dangle the carrot. Like, that's not all. There's always more. So if you look down here, pipeline of 5 targeted acquisitions. So this can really grow into a special stock. So, I'll probably be looking for dips. I mean, it depends on, what I'm busy with something else. But I really like what they're doing. I like the news they put out. I love the share structure. So keep that one on your radar. Especially with that many acquisitions in the pipeline, it can really just continue to grow. But special one of the day, our friend IGEX. So the funny thing about this one is it had some bad sentiment because, the CEO started, calling people trolls. As you could see here, he started saying, I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to do that. And it caused a lot of people to sell off. But if you notice, the Friday before, he actually tweeted something and said, about loyalty and, this isn't the end. And, I mean, it was in Spanish, so I don't even have it in front of me. But it seemed that, if you're loyal, you'll be paid off, whatever. I don't even know. But regardless, this thing dipped all the way into threes today, and I was stressing. I was like, oh no, I was buying in 40s, and here we go, just tanking in 30s. The market's tanking, and I'm like, you know what? It's got 400 million share reduction coming, cancellation. It's got news, he said, within a few days, and we always know old surge is late. So then he tweeted today, bam, here it is. And this thing just ripped. I mean, I've never seen a stock move so quickly, within 30s to 45, and then just continue to grind up 50s, 60s. It looked like it was going for 70s. So very excited about this one, as I've shared in the past video. So played it from 70s to 90s. So just to be able to get it again in 40s and 30s, like, are you serious? With what they have going on, regardless of being late or not, if there's a catalyst and you're selling 30s, like, I'm going to buy it. I don't know about everybody else. I'm sure a lot of people did at heavy volume. But, it closed up 0064. Incredible day. As you can see, here on the chart, dipped in the 30s. So the opportunity, as we stated in the last video, to buy the flush is just tremendous, especially nowadays in OTC. If there's not a lot of volume and you see the avalanche coming down, but it's got a catalyst, boom, I'm all over it. So, fun one to talk about. We'll see as it goes a little bit further and what they can deliver. But, like I said, it's a fun one. Next one, DUTV. So if you follow me on Twitter, I noted, hey, look, I'm buying 70s. Like, I saw it dip into 60s today, and I was like, oh, come on, like, you got to be kidding me. But today, out of nowhere, just complete monster slap, just sent it right into 80s, 98. I mean, it was so thin. It's much more thin than it was before, which is really strange. I thought that was very odd, but hey, I'll take it. So as you can see here, I'm going to pull up, Mark's Twitter. So this is the CEO, and I'm going to post a couple things up here too. So definitely follow this guy because he's the main driver for all of their, information. But they're basically doing, bioenergy technology. They're doing disruptive building, and they're trying to build an umbrella, and it's going to have, a little ecosystem of, modular buildings and so forth, a lot of infrastructure. But what's cool is June 1st, I'll put the tweet here, and they're expected to close the energy finance program or get it ready, and that's what they're going to be using going forward to finance and drive all of these modular units that they're building. But that's not even the best part. So this tweet here, this one actually says that he's going, all across, and he said this is going to become bigger than anybody expects. So I don't think people are reading behind the lines or between the lines. So we saw Mark, he's tweeted a few things before, but he's been so professional. His corporate updates, his PRs, while, it may be a little boring, if you understand what they're trying to accomplish, how he put his own money into this company and what he wants to build, as far as his disruptive umbrella, huge. So to be able to grab 70s, and like I was saying, at the end of May, early June, I think it's going to catch fire big time. It's already down 50% from previous highs, but just because, you catch those little things that he says, he gives you hints. So, as it's stated, let me pull it up right here. All right, let's go through. So here's the Easy Energy Climate Token. The token, the assets, disrupt taking another 10 or 20 years ahead of themselves, be a challenge for our financing. Let me see where I can find it. I think I posted it. Oh, here we go. We continue stepping through our plan. We've been busy the past weeks ramping up sales and manufacturing capacity. Next week, I will begin speaking at external investor conferences. I believe soon that we will have a greater global investor exposure than any of you ever expected. Chills. Woo! So between that, the energy token, and just the way he likes to drop PRs out of nowhere, this isn't one you want to have to slap over a penny, 2 pennies, whatever it's going to come. So I'm accumulating still. I think it's great, and it can be a big mover. So keep that one on your radar. Next one, NXMR. So I played this one earlier in the year. I cannot believe it is 3 cents. Makes 0 sense to me. From everything they've accomplished, so I'll post it here, from the beginning of the year, really, as far as acquiring, oil companies, letter of intents, MCO, the revenues that they're already putting out, since 2018, and what they're building is tremendous. So if you look at the chart, this thing is bottomed out. No dilution. It's not moving. I've been sitting on bid for days. So I've been accumulating under 3 because I'm like, this is crazy. This stock was 2.5 cents to 3 cents as a shell. So now that they have all these assets coming in, letter of intent, acquisition, and they actually had the float update too. There's people saying, oh, they diluted, but look, float was updated as of recent, and that costs money to do that through a TA. That's not cheap. So I think it can grow into something big. So as long as they continue, hitting on all cylinders, there's no reason I'm not adding under 3. This can be 5 to 7 in a flash. Very thin, gorgeous share structure. And, as I post up here, letter of intent's coming. They have an audit at the end of the month, early June. Not only that, but they're in the process of canceling 270 more million shares. It's like, what? Why isn't anybody buying this? It's crazy. So somebody's going to find it. So I'm going to keep accumulating. I think you guys should put eyes on it because it did hit, 13 cents plus earlier in the year. This big of a discount, no dilution, with more letter of intents go. Like, what? Hello. So, I just wanted to talk about those, DMAN, everybody says, oh, the OTC is dead. It's not. It's just, people aren't playing catalysts. They're sitting in stocks that are just quiet, not moving. So I'm very active. I will play active companies. DMAN, unfortunately I didn't get in it, but I'm happy for everybody who did. It creates liquidity, it creates money for them. IJEX, same thing. They have catalysts. You're selling 30s. Like, what are you doing? This thing was just at 90s, so I don't know, but it creates an opportunity for others. As, at heavy volume, 30s, 40s, 50s just flew. DUTV, love it. Disruptive. I think Mark is doing a great job. The fact that it is down 50% from highs, it's a good place to add. It touched 6s real quick today before it just blasted off. So look at that one. Keep an eye on it, as far as going forward, because Mark is going to start firing off, as far as infrastructure is building and investors. I guarantee you we're going to have some really surprising PRs. And then NXMR, probably one of the most undervalued plays out there. So all of these, keep on your radar. Same thing, if you're active and you have a watch list and you see stuff like DVLP dipped in the 30s, I grab some of those, closing up near 5. ICOA, in the 30s. Like, what? It hasn't been in the 30s forever. So boom, grab some 35.36, close 39.40, and they have a lot in the pipeline. So it should move back into the 40s, 50s. I mean, it's a penny bound stock. It always runs to a penny, but we'll see as the market goes on. So make sure you subscribe. I love putting together these videos for you, information, clowning sellers a little bit, but hey, I get caught in those as myself too. So drop some likes on the video if you have any comments. You have any questions about trading, OTC, if you're feeling down. I'm always willing to help. So follow me on Twitter as well, and I'll talk to you guys later.